You know what's genuinely annoying? Spending $250 on a fragrance while the guy next to you spent $25, and somehow he's the one getting asked what he's wearing. Same room, same occasion. You spent 10 times as much and walked away with absolutely nothing. That's not bad luck, and it's probably not your skin either. He just understands something most guys don't. Here's the weird part. It isn't some secret fragrance. It isn't some expensive trick. Most guys spend all their money on the bottle, then skip the stuff that actually makes the bottle work. This video is the stuff they skipped. Before we get into the steps, here's the part that makes all of them make sense. Most people think the fragrance does all the work. Honestly, it's probably doing the least. The bottle is maybe 20% of the equation. The other 80% is everything around it, which means a lot of people buy the fragrance and completely ignore everything that actually helps it perform. Then they blame the bottle. The bottle wasn't the problem. It just got all the blame. So before we even talk about fragrances, let's fix the other 80%. Before fragrance does anything for you, the foundation has to be right. And the foundation is simply not smelling bad in the first place. Fragrance has one job: smell good. Covering body odor isn't one of them. Spraying over sweat is like spraying air freshener in a bathroom and hoping everyone forgets what happened 5 minutes ago. Start with the basics. Shower, clean skin, and use an unscented body wash so it doesn't end up competing with your fragrance. And don't skip deodorant. There's one option hardly anyone talks about: alum stone. Sounds medieval, works surprisingly well. It's a natural mineral block, costs under $10, lasts for ages, and stops odor before it starts. No fragrance, no gimmicks. Just one of those products that makes you wonder why nobody mentioned it sooner. Trust me, just try it. Clean foundation first, then let the fragrance do the job you actually paid for. Now, skin prep. I know, this is the least exciting part of the video. It also happens to be one of the most effective. Most guys will happily spend hundreds of dollars on a fragrance, then refuse to spend $6 on moisturizer. It's a fascinating budgeting strategy. Fragrance needs moisture to hold on to. On dry skin, which most guys have, the molecules evaporate much faster. That's why two people can spray the exact same fragrance and one still smells great at dinner while the other disappeared before lunch. Same bottle, different skin. Grab an unscented moisturizer from any drugstore, whatever's on sale, $5 to $8. Apply it where you're about to spray, wait a minute, then apply your fragrance. Want to go one step further? Fractionated coconut oil. Under $10, one bottle lasts close to a year, and loads of people in the comments who've tried it say it genuinely helps. It's one of those tips that sounds made up until you try it. For just a few dollars, you've probably solved the biggest longevity problem most guys have. Okay, so now that your skin's ready, the next thing is where you spray. And this is where a lot of guys accidentally undo everything we just fixed. Fragrance needs warmth to project, which is why pulse points work. Inner elbows, wrist, back of the neck. They're not magical, they're just the warm bits. The underrated one though? Your collar or just your shirt. Fabric holds fragrance much longer than skin, and every time you move, it releases a little more. Funny enough, it quietly outperforms spots people spend way more time talking about. And stop rubbing your wrists together after you spray. Everyone does it. At this point, I'm convinced it's just inherited behavior. Nobody knows why. It just breaks down the opening before it even gets a chance to settle. Just spray it. Leave it alone and go live your life. So the foundation's right, your skin's prepped, you're spraying in the right places. Now let's talk about the fragrance itself. Here's the part nobody tells you. You don't need to spend $500 to smell like you spent $500. You just need to stop paying for things that don't smell. That $500 bottle, maybe $15 to $30 of it is the actual liquid. The rest is the bottle, the box, the marketing, and the celebrity who almost certainly isn't wearing it. The label doesn't project, the scent does. That's where clone fragrances come in, and not the sketchy kind with wrong spelling on the label. Actual legitimate fragrance houses, mostly out of the Middle East, that took the same scent DNA as expensive originals and sold you the liquid without the markup. Houses like Latafa and Armaf have been doing this for decades. The molecules don't know whether they're sitting in a $30 bottle or a $300 one. They're molecules, not accountants. Now, which one depends on the situation, because wearing the right fragrance for the wrong occasion is its own kind of problem. If it were me, summer and daytime, Club de Nuit Intense Man EDP, around $25 to $30, inspired by Creed Aventus, and honestly, most people can't tell the difference. Everyday wear, different story. Rasasi Hawass Ice, around $30 to $40. Fresh, icy, and I honestly think it's one of the best compliment per dollar fragrances you can buy. And for dates, evenings, colder weather, completely different territory. French Avenue Liquid Brune, around $35 to $40, inspired by Parfums de Marly Althère. Warm vanilla, cinnamon, woods. It smells like a $400 fragrance because, well, that's exactly what it's trying to smell like. I've got a full spreadsheet in the description if you want more. There's a whole budget section in there. Okay, so even after all of this, eventually every fragrance fades. So what do you do then? When that happens, don't carry the whole bottle around. Get yourself a travel atomizer instead. About $5 to $10, takes 5 seconds to fill, disappears into a pocket or bag. One thing though, if you're sweating, wipe your skin first. Spraying fresh fragrance over sweat is basically hitting refresh on the same bad decision. Quick wipe, then spray. Takes 5 seconds and smells a whole lot better. And whatever you do, do not leave your fragrance in the glove compartment during summer. Your car turns into an oven and your fragrance gets slow cooked for absolutely no reason. One last thing, and I swear almost everyone does this. Heat, light, and humidity slowly break down fragrance over time. And somehow, the one place that gives you all three every single day is the bathroom, which also happens to be where most people keep their fragrances. You're basically spending money on a bottle only to store it in the one room that's quietly trying to destroy it. Keep it in a drawer, on a bedroom shelf, anywhere cool, dark, and dry. So that's the whole budget system. Clean foundation, moisturizer before you spray, smarter spray placement, the right clone for the right occasion, a travel atomizer, and proper storage. You probably don't need a better fragrance. You just need a better system. Now you've got one. Subscribe if this helped, and let me know in the comments, what's the one thing in this system you've been skipping? I have a feeling it's the moisturizer. It's always the moisturizer.